welcome to Matters Arising in Nigeria Politics for today. Kingsley, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Piro, good afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, a lot to discuss today, but let's just take them by bits. There is this Nigeria first policy, sounding like what Trump, started saying a while ago. America first. Well, Nigeria can be first. Tinubu has just recently, I'm wondering why it took him this long to roll out a policy of Nigeria first, which is mandating the executive arm to procure those things that Nigeria produce instead of procuring their foreign counterparts, provided Nigeria has that content, products, services, whatever it is that we can, render for Nod. Nod is a local vehicle, or Innoson. Innoson is a local vehicle. There are quite a few of others, Exchange your Escalade. Let people see that, our president is no longer using a foreign vehicle and is using a local one. And as a result of that, everybody will follow suit. That tons of documents are just documents. That example speaks louder. What do you make of that?
Okay, all right. So I like to start. I will come back to Atiku a little bit.
Okay.
But let me, from where you started from before, the policy that we should have Nigerian content, both goods and services, not just in goods. It should be both in goods and services. I can't remember very well. I think it was Obasanjo's government. Obasanjo's government pulled out a section of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, now they call it, and made what you call Nigerian Content Development, headquartered in NCDMB. Now, they also created a platform where you list jobs by
although that one was a little bit targeted to oil sector in a way.
No, they won't put it on construction.
A lot of but the driver was oil sector.
The first driver was oil sector,
yes.
But they now brought in that everything should come under
and follow that local content policy.
Now, the oil sector you are talking about is that if you want to do deep sea well, as a matter of fact, that
was what informed the headquartering of the NCDMB in Bayelsa.
Yes. Do you understand? Now, it's also it can encompass everything Nigerian
local content
development.
Yes.
So first of all, because if you look at that oil sector, that's where a lot of our revenue is coming from. So they come to take the oil. They also bring personnel that they will pay and go away and bring fabricated material 70% and just come and install it. 30% is coming to us. They now say no, let's revert it. 30% come from abroad, 70% is done here, so that we retain our money. So that's where it started from. If they can, first of all, revert back to that document, these things are not new, and make sure implementation is key. That's what they should first of all
just
do.
Like Atiku was asking the president, you started.
For example, so they will now take it further and now say, from the executive, legislature, and the judiciary, what we should do is that let's look at how we can empower our local assembly plant, because they are actually really assembly plants.
They are produced even all over the world. That's what they are.
Exactly. Now, also look at it. During COVID or before COVID, there was this policy where, Obama era, where a lot of automobile companies in America were falling apart. They energized those.
That was where they helped Elon Musk. Elon Musk was a beneficiary of Obama's aid.
Exactly. In fact, my friend told me that whenever you are buying a car in the United States, there is an $8,000 that is added from the federal government to what you are buying. They pay for it. Do you understand? So that the automobile company can stand up and match that is happening. And that's where they should start from.
Okay, do you think that Siwaju's interest on Escalade should be sacrificed for Nord, or Innoson or any other local vehicle, Peter? Let's not go back. If I'm to go back, I was to ask, why wait for the whole National Assembly to buy their vehicle and all that for you to bring in this? Imagine the amount of dollars, amount of the foreign currency we would have saved from buying vehicles for all the National Assembly members and all that. Then after doing that, almost just about 2 years after, you are bringing this policy. But it's okay, let's move forward. What do you think about starting by example like Atiku challenged Asiwaju?
Well, there's adage in my place. When you wake up, it's your money. It's woken up. Our problem in this country is not about policy formulation. We've had wonderful policies. The issue is implementation. Now, if you roll out these policies, and Atiku is an opposition person, so he should attack it. But I don't have issue there. These policies rolled out, are they sustainable? Can our local industry produce enough to service this economy?
Not enough. The one they are producing should have bought it up.
That's what we should ask. Do we have the capacity? Because Nigeria, we are actually not producing.
There are a few things. For example, Innoson is producing. Nord is producing. Even this one owned by Kano. What's the name again?
Yes.
That is one owned by. I've forgotten the name escaped me. They are producing a few of them. I've forgotten the actual name, but they are producing.
Let's start with Innoson. I remember some months back. Governor of Abure was attacked. Why didn't he buy from Innoson? Instead, he placed an order. They were not able to meet his demands. But that's not the issue I'm going to hear.
We're also, do you know that services are included? You see simple jobs, simple road work that Nigerians can do, simple drainage that Nigerians can do. You find foreign company, Chinese and that doing that. What will our youth do?
I'm going somewhere. Our neighbor here, Ghana, that jobs expatriate can do.
So that's why
because if you do it, the tax you pay on it. No, it's not just your policy. Make it extremely expensive. In Ghana, for you to employ an expatriate to do a job a Ghanaian can do, the tax you pay on it will discourage you. Why pay, let me give you just an example. Why pay $20,000 to get a case to come and work as an expatriate? Why I can pay only $1,000?
But they are doing it with, you see, when that is for, you are talking about individual, you are talking about private sector. This government money, because it doesn't belong to them, the policy, they don't care if they are using government money to hire a Chinese who will lay interlock. After laying interlock, you pay the Chinese man, he will still take the money back. Interlocking stones that just about anybody can do. Nigerian can do.
You know, yesterday
and you are paying with government money.
I said we have enough cement, we have enough sand, and we have enough human power. Why can't you produce interlock?
We produce and lay, but they just get foreign company, not letting them know. But now we just, like you said, he's just woken up. I'm asking, do you think he should start by trading off his Escalade, like the way Atiku said?
No, at least there is a starting point. Today is a starting point. We shouldn't go backward. Why trade off your Escalade when you already bought it?
And also looking at
money. Going forward, we should judge them by what they do. I can't go for maybe a state dinner and say foreign rice. No, that's where we'll start judging them. So what has been spent is a spirit make. We can't go back towards them. It's what they do from now going forward. Would they be next cars they will buy? Would they be Nigerian made cars? With the food they eat in the house, would they be Nigerian made food? With the workers? Not only this,
okay, I wanted to
medical service.
Okay, I wanted to ask you. Come back to you. I wanted to ask you. Asiwaju, by training, like he told us, is an economist. He studied economics, and are you telling me that Asiwaju is just realizing after 2 years, after spending money in buying vehicles for National Assembly members, where you can save the forest that we don't have? We don't even have this. This is what we don't have. And when you can also show example, every constituency has a representative. These are the people that is why National Assembly, House of Reps are done by population. It is the Senate that are done by the states. In National Assembly, the House of Assembly representative in particular are represented across Nigeria and distributed across population. Buying local vehicle for them, if you must buy vehicle, wouldn't that be the way to have started this? In as much as we want to move forward, we want to also see the sincerity that there is no politics attached, because these vehicles are bought once in every 4 years, right? And that has been done. Those has been expended. There's likely not to be vehicle thing anymore. For example, this is what takes chunk. Are you saying he just didn't realize that we needed to patronize local content?
Okay, so what happened about Nigeria is quite sad, really. Most of the time, the government that wants to come into power don't even, whether they will win or they will not win, they ought to have their manifesto. Party manifesto is one. The administration's manifesto is another. Because telling the people vote for me is one thing. Governing the people is another thing. That's the truth. Now, when they were coming, I'm sure you are privileged to some information or know some people that when they are posted to a place, they look for a juicy place where they should be posted to. They think about how they will build a house and retire. They don't think how they will make a mark in that place. I know you know what I'm talking about. People don't think about how they will make mark in that place. So when this government come in, they have a time frame or a time where before they start administration, you know, and all that, before inauguration and everything. You find out that until that time, till inauguration time, till after inauguration, they don't choose their cabinet. Why? Why can't you choose your cabinet between when
all over the world? That's just what
happened. So now the reason I said this is as a result of the fact that these people don't have policies they want to implement before they come in. They don't have a blueprint of how the economy is supposed to run. Now look at between that time and this time till 2 years before you now start telling us that let's close on what we can do and what we cannot do. Why? How? Now you just have 2 years. When are you going to implement it? 2 years and 4 years. There's a big difference. By now you should have been stabilizing.
Particularly coupled with the initial purchases that happens as the assuming office.
Exactly. You came up at the initial stage and told us from the first day of it.
Okay, Atiku the fuel is gone. Yeah, Atiku was saying something that this idea of the people in government enjoying luxurious things and telling the masses to buy Nigerians, you know, akin to government increasing the price of fuel, increasing the tariff for communication, increasing the tariff for electricity, and coming out to be bold to tell market women to reduce the price of goods. Meanwhile, what you increase, the other things driving the prices of goods upward, coupled with insecurity. Is there insincerity in that regard?
Yeah, everyone has been calling Tinubu, but then he has 2 years to write a legacy. So he has started. Sincerity, I don't know. But they're playing, for me, they're playing politics. Because most of these things we want to localize has been done. 80 to 90% of them has been done. So it's simply politics. You want to show us that.
What do you mean they have been done? You mean the policies are in place?
No, there's been policies.
Okay, like the things, the significant amount of things that local content would have covered.
Yes, they've already supplemented with the foreign words. So what now they are doing, they want to show they are working. They want to show that they've detached themselves from politics. They want to face the economy. Which to me, if they're sincere about it, it's not a bad thing. Though they're starting late.
Okay, I think we tried to move further to things like using local hospitals and things like that, you know, because services are all also covered. You should consider that the president, a 73-year-old man, is not really too young, no matter how you look at it. He might have some medical histories or things like that, and he might have had doctors that, you know, that attend to him before. Do you think things like that, it's easy for him to switch to local hospital, probably maybe equip one so well like the one that they attends to him, and begin to show example, you know, of patronizing local content products?
All of these guys that you see, they are not new to power. Asiwaju was in Lagos State as governor for 8 whopping years.
Yes.
Not only has he been in Lagos State, he has also been the kingmaker of Lagos for the past 26 years.
So he could make hospitals.
So he could have made a hospital in Lagos that it would now be a place like a Mecca.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
The hospital should have been a tourist place where people can be going. So it's not today that he has been there. That's number one. Number two, he has been president of this country now for 2 years.
Yeah.
Medically, or in medicine, you talk about personnel first. Equipment can be bought and installed. But you talk about personnel. If you go to hospitals abroad, you and I know it, that Nigerian medical personnel, whether they are physiotherapists,
they are one of the best.
They are one of the best. I went to a hospital, what they call hospital for children, in pediatrician, somewhere in Dallas. The best one of the best pediatricians in Dallas is an Edo State woman. Married to a Benue man. Do you understand? The best pediatrician, I'm telling you. And in fairness to her, she treated my daughter free. I don't know if you understand. The same with doctors. The same with accountants all over Europe.
All over,
Do you understand? So it's personnel that before the machine, even you go into the machine that fixes it, it's the doctor that first of all identify what's wrong with the person. Whether it's in medicine, human medicine, whether it's in virology, whatever it is, it's Nigerian doctors. So why can't we build an hospital, equip it, and bring human beings into it and make it good? Why?
All right, let's still go in line with Asiwaju's policy. The tax reform bill has been around for like 6 months now. You know, they floated it that time, wanted it passed immediately, and then there was too much resistance. I think they delayed it, but it's gone through in the House. It was to go through today, I think today in the Senate, and then there's still a postponement, right? So that does it mean as it is now that the fear that people raised about the tax reforms has been cleared?
Now, until they pass it and it's been signed into law, I still believe that they are buying time to convince people to buy into it. Because it's not like our National Assembly. They understand everything that comes from presidency. I don't know why this one took them time. Probably they read the body language of a lot of governors kicked against it.
Particularly from
even not, yes. So probably that is why the delay. So until it's passed into law, I can't say much on it.
Okay, Kingsley, do you think that tax reform bill that Tinubu because we talked about starting things or starting off a policy as soon as you are inaugurated or whatever. This tax reform bill came over 6 months ago. Does it mean Tinubu depended on it to rejig the economy because they are relying on it that, when it is done, the revenue generation base will come up? I don't know how that is going to happen eventually, except it's a policy targeted at inequalities. Okay, if it is not a policy targeted at luxuries and inequalities, when people produce nothing, you can't tax nothing. So I don't know how some of these tax provisions are really going to play out with the level of change that is coming, because they are even going to collapse some statutory authorities into new ones and other. Do you think when it's passed that there is not going to be a resistance because an act has been passed or not?
Doesn't mean...
because it went very quietly in the House and it might go through in the Senate. People might not really be aware that tax reform is coming into effect. It's coming into effect.
Now, you see, most of the time when I was in a forum the other day, or I was in a meeting, and I was trying to tell, because there were some government officials in that meeting, I told them that most of the time that the reason their policies don't sail through is that they don't educate the people about their policies. I mean, if you have a tax reform that is coming and that is going to be beneficial to the people, what you need to do is to explain to them in their language. We have Ministry of Information, we have National Orientation Agency. These are all government apparatus that you can use to disseminate information. Why are you hiding it from the people? I'm trying to pass it in a very subtle way and all that. So between you and I, even me that I'm very educated, I don't know the full details of the tax reform bill. If there's a committee set up, why are the governors evading meeting with the committee members that you now have to do politics on it on a daily basis? Now, not if they say that what they need is revenue, they've also gone borrowing. Tell me significant project that they have put money that they borrowed into that is working. And they are what you call critical infrastructure, not the one they are talking about, the oil one that they are using to siphon money from. Our critical infrastructure right now is both physical and security. Security has become a critical infrastructure to us. Roads are becoming critical infrastructure. Electricity is becoming critical infrastructure. Until you attend to this one and there is stability, the people will not trust you.
All right. Let's move a little to opposition party, supposedly opposition party, but they are opposing themselves. Labour Party, Nenadi Usman, the chairman of the caretaker committee, which the legal advisor of the Labour Party, lawyer to Abure, has said that position is unknown to their constitution. Nenadi Usman is now threatening to discipline Abure, that he's an impostor. I mean, this is Labour that is in opposition. During the last election, they shocked everybody, you know.
To be able to abide to it. So for me, that is Labour's beginning, problem, where the problem began. They didn't plan for all hidden. And this issue of Abure's time has expired. Has to be settled. Supreme Court says should go back and resolve internally. And I'm of the opinion INEC should come in and help these people because they cannot settle this problem. There's mistrust. There's no trust among them. This party is holding strong to its own end. This other party is holding strong to its own end. There should be a mediator. And it stands now. Abure camp does not trust Obi or to mediate and give fair hearing to everyone. So I'm hoping that INEC.
But it's not within INEC's mandate. INEC is a statutory organization that have what they should be doing. One of their mandate is not to settle rift between politicians.
But somebody should represent somebody should represent the parties in response to correspondence with INEC. So which of them?
If you let me tell you, there are over 17 political parties in Nigeria. If 16 dies, Nigeria becomes one party state. It's not of INEC. INEC has no duty to ensure that your party is alive. You have a constitution. All of you are members that freely join that association. If you people freely join the association, and Supreme Court say go and settle your rift based on your constitution, it is of you people to know whether you are understanding your constitution rightly or wrongly. It is not of an unbiased empire to come into your internal rift to interpret your own constitution for you. Do you understand? So people I blame INEC on many things. I blame them for not conducting free and fair election, not in settling a dispute for political parties. When they did not agree.
I'm not blaming INEC then.
Yeah. There
was a convention held in NAWI. Was INEC aware of that convention?
Wait, hold on. You are not getting whether they are aware or not aware. If the whole Labour people come in unison to INEC and say this is this, INEC will not object. But when you are disagreeing, it is not of INEC to say this is the one we trust, this is not the one we don't trust. It is of you. All of you are Labour Party members. Both Denadi and LP and Abure, they are all Labour Party members. They should know what is right. Yeah, you can come in.
Okay, so first of all, there's a part of INEC.
Yeah.
INEC have in their constitution that if it's not observed by INEC, it's not recognized.
Yeah.
That one is there. So INEC should tell us, did they observe at NAWI?
Yeah.
It put paid to that.
So when they do not recognize it, what happens next?
Okay, what happens if they go back to drawing board?
To go back to another convention.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So that's on the part of INEC. Now, don't forget, this is a party with common ideology and principles that there's a guide for us, which is our constitution and our ideology. Now, most of the time, we normally say, Obi should have brought everybody together and say, hey guys, we want to win an election and change this country. Let's shoot our sword and move forward.
That's all.
If Obi also now is not doing it, let me say the so-called chairman or the chairman in contention, which INEC recognized that is on their website as we speak, which is Abure. Abure should have come and also call everybody.
He did in the last letter, but the other people didn't want to attend. Even the other people also called him. He didn't want to attend. That is why a big figure like Obi
she could have called
him more. Rather than just unfortunately on this last time, it appeared like
he tilted to one side.
He tilted to one side, yes.
Abure called them. Both of them have held their stakeholders meeting, and a stalemate is still there. Now, instead of Abure to now go forward, because if you notice recently, Obi has spoken less of Labour.
Yes.
He has gone to start registering his member of his obedience.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Abure, if you really want to win an election, you have all the state chairmen even go and visit these people and said, come, Governor Oti, come, let's build together. For example, I remember when Yaradua was barred from contesting primaries, that's the senior Yaradua, contesting primaries in...
Governor Oti does not recognize Abure again because they are the one that appointed.
No, we are talking about reconciliation.
Yeah, they invited each other. Both sides invited each other.
I'm not talking about after the neck or the
meeting, the public view.
Abiola landed in Castina because the PDM at the time brought up Atiku to contest in Bauchi
1992.
In 1992 when they had their convention. He brought him forward and said, before you know it, he flew his private jet to Casina. As Yaradua was telling him, don't let him come in. He said, he opened the door and said, Alaji, I'm here. He did ballet for Yaradua. There was nothing Yaradua could do anymore. And that's how PDP, SDP came together and they now presented the vice president. What I'm saying is that both of these two parties, if they really believe in what they're doing, except they are following what Fayemi said, that is just a comment.
Did you think any of this party sincerely want to save labor? Both Nenadi camp and the Abure camp. Do you think they are sincerely fighting to save labor? If you are fighting to really save a child, I mean, at a point, it's no longer, there's this adage that there is a place a fly will perch on your body. You will realize that there is a quiet or peaceful way of settling a matter. If you think they are sincere, why is this fight continuing?
No, this is all about the control of the parties. Oti said something. He was asked Abure, why do you want to leave people that don't want you to leave them? That's the question he asked on national TV. The two parties, none is sincere.
When you say this thing, why do you lead the people that do not want to lead them? Abure side, no matter what comes up tomorrow, is still the only side that controls the 36 state chairmen in Nigeria. Those 36 chairmen want Abure to lead them. I'm coming. Those 36 chairmen controls all the local government chairmen and all the world. All these people have not said, we have not seen any resolution that they do not want Abure to lead them. So that of Nenadi, which is the caretaker committee, we don't even know if they have parallel structure down to Ward 2. So classifying Abure as people who do not want you to lead them, that Oti and his mind you, in the Nnewi convention that returned back Abule this last time, all Oti commissioners were there. Oti was fully represented by his own deputy on that in that convention. Do you understand? So that is why you need to balance this. You can't just say, oh, people do not want Abure to lead them because some other people want you to lead them.
I didn't finish. Let me finish. That is from Otis N. The Abure camp said something. This caretaker is that linked to a constitution? So, as it stands, the both parties, I don't think they are fighting to rescue labor. They are fighting to control labor because of the influence labor had at the last election.
Okay, let me now ask you this question. If Obi, as it seems now, because he has focused on obedience, if Obi leaves labor today, do you think this fight will continue? Because if Obi leaves labor, certainly labor will become less attractive, no matter how you look at it. Obi was a very big force. Do you think this fight will continue? Or one side will just abandon it for one side?
One side they'll move.
Do you think the fight will continue?
Labor will not be less attractive. Labor will be unattractive. Not even less. To not even be attractive at all. No. That's the truth.
You're supposed to be the movement now.
The beauty of labor, we know it has been a party for a long time. And it has won a governorship election under Mimiko in Ondo State. You understand? And maybe some Delta State senatorial district, I think one.
I don't know what that
was in 20. No,
I think they won something
long time ago. Now, for the past two elections, they didn't do anything. Now it was Obi that came and brought the traction to Labour. If Obi leave Labour today, Labour is gone. As for my own outlook,
calculation,
Labour is gone. Almost everybody that is in Labour now as
okay. Let's put it this way: when Labour was nothing, Abure has been there. He didn't join APC. He didn't join PDP because it's all okay to call for heads and all that. Abure has been in the labor when it was unattractive.
But can I say something?
Yes.
It was using as a form of exchange.
Whatever it was.
Yes, so
whatever he's been there.
So he should fall back there.
He was been there, whatever it
No, but
because people are leaving their party to join APC. Why didn't they use theirs? So people are leaving. Because what is this fear of one party state we are talking about? Maybe let's move over to what Governor Sule was saying. Governor Sule from Nasarawa. He was saying that the fear that people are having for one party state is not going to happen. That even in America, people think that there's only two parties, Republicans and Democrats. They don't know there's something like Green Party. About 5 other, about 3 other. Yes. You know, it have about 5 major parties, but people don't know. People think there are just 2 parties in America. You understand? He said that there will always be all this opposition. That there is never a time everybody will come to APC. You know, it means that there will always be this Abure. Because when the labor wasn't attractive, Abure was there.
That's what we are saying. You are saying what you are saying. We are saying what we are saying. The other parties, there's DPP. Do they ever win?
There's a court party.
There's a court party.
There's Zenith Labour Party.
So the Labour to join them in that order. So Labour is less attractive. No, they are not quarreling in a DPP or Zenith Labour Party. Because there's nothing to quarrel about.
There's APP.
Before Obi came into Labour, did you ever hear that Labour was quarreling? Labour was not quarreling. So they knew what they were doing.
Okay, let's attack these issues of one party state, one party nation. Peter, this defection from PDP in particular to APC, you know, those who won election to National Assembly, through the platform of Labour Party, some have moved to APC. You know, just a few days ago, the chunk of a speaker in Edo State, a speaker, PDP, who won election under PDP's platform.
Okay, so let me give you a little history of that movement.
Yes.
So he was not the speaker. The speaker was a PDP speaker.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Now the speaker refused or
did
not move.
Yeah.
So as a result of him not moving, the guy that moved, they now did the APC now became
majority speaker.
So and now the speaker that defected to APC, they now brought him up as the speaker of the state, and that was based on some special arrangement because I suspect that the person that is a speaker,
but they now have 18 members.
That's the
APC, yes.
The one that are still remaining there, maybe like Osawaru.
About 6 of them.
And all that.
Yes.
You see, some of them are still neck there. But I can assure you with time they are going to move.
They will move.
Yes, because the governor is really playing that politics of everybody moving and trying to muzzle opposition.
Yes, so that's why I'm coming, Peter. When you see people moving like this, the fear that Governor Sule was trying to dissuade that is not going to happen, are you having that fear?
Yeah, I'm in between in the sense that there's going to be an implosion in APC. Yes, but the question we should ask, why the attraction? What is attracting people to APC? Is it that their policy has worked? Is it that the economy is booming?
As a matter of fact, that of Edo State, they say is the performance of the governor, for example.
For how many months? Has been there for how many months? I just finished
100 days.
What has it done? That's busy destroying houses. Is that the performance?
Maybe they like the destruction of houses.
So this movement, this is a question that you need to answer. What is the attraction there, if not for self-preservation? And when everyone moved into a house, is the house big enough to contain everyone? Is the political space there big enough to accommodate everybody's interests? It looks as if it's working. What did they try to do? They try to move big wings for every state into APC. Yes, you are forgetting that these people too, they have their own personal political agenda. Now you brought them in. Only person that might benefit from it is Aswaju.
Do you think?
I'm going to let me finish. There's a might. Might in the sense that these people now will control the election. If it's truly free, if it's free and fair, there's no advantage. But getting these big people into it that can control the base control the local government, control the council where the election happens, control the result from grassroots to the state level. That's what they're targeting. But after the presidential election, what happens to the local election?
Okay, let me take you on every election, no matter how you look at it. That's why I always tell people that tomorrow is mystery. Nobody knows tomorrow. And every election, we learn at least one lesson. In the last election, we learned something. That you are a governor of a state doesn't mean you are going to win your election for your party. Once the election is near free and fair, let's just near free and fair. Near free and fair. The people will wipe and vote who they want to vote. It's become evident. You know, no matter how you look at it, this accreditation has helped. Had it been transmission of the result, it's also electronic.
And through IREV.
Yeah, IREV. Yeah, I think it would have been very, very wonderful. But let's put it this way. You tried to say, Asiwaju might benefit. Do you think all these big wigs, in quotes, you know, I don't know why we regard them as big per se, maybe politically big, you know, Osadolor said they are people who wearing oversized shoes and
without
nothing and oversized.
I like that guy, it's my guy.
And oversized clothes. These people wearing oversized shoes and oversized clothes moving into APC, you know, like Osadolor described them. Do you think they are really going to bring advantage to Asiwaju should he choose to contest for the position of a president again in come 2027?
Okay, so let me start from the side of Sule, if you allow me.
Sure, sorry.
I don't think Nigeria can ever go and quote me, be a one-party state.
Yes, certainly.
Never.
I agree with you.
I can assure you that.
Yes, I agree
if
with
you can take it to the bank and deposit it.
I agree with you.
Nigeria will never be a one-party state. I'm not in between. No. The problem they are massing for themselves right now, that's the APC, is going to show in the future. Not in the future.
Just very close to election.
Very close.
Yes.
Very, very, very close. Let primaries start. You will know where, in fact, all the political parties in Nigeria will have candidates.
Yes.
And we will not be seeing who is who that can muzzle power. That's one side. On the other side, the ruling party, let us have how election finances are gotten. Because you've got to find out. Because that's one of the ways also democracy will advance in this country.
Yes.
Now, if you look at a governor, what funds does he have to run an election? Biden doesn't run election with state funds.
No. As a matter of fact, their campaign funds are published. Whatever you spend is published.
The
donors are published.
They are known. What you spend here. The governor will just go into the coffers of the government and pull out money and use it for an election.
And if he wins, he has immunity. If he doesn't win, if EFCC is chasing, he comes to the
and is forgiven. Do you understand? So these are the way for us to be able to checkmate what should be and what should not, and the independence of a sort, right, of the security apparatus, like the police, the DSS, the AFCC, and all that will help. If Tinubu is not the one that wholeheartedly, as a man, right, chooses the chairman of EFCC or the DSS director or the IG of police, so that they can independently go and investigate anybody without you not being able to remove them, a lot of things will work. Look at Israel.
At least that of EFCC chairman shouldn't be appointed by a president.
In fact, all these people...
But for DSS, because DSS is to protect them and all that, and for the government agency, you could still...
But you should not be able to sack him when you want to sack him.
Exactly. It should be like a position of governor of central bank.
Exactly.
Where you can appoint, but you require two-thirds of National Assembly to fire him. That should have been good enough.
Yes. So these are the things that are going to help us as a nation.
Okay, that's going to call for revisiting of our laws.
Yes.
Eventually. It can't just happen that way. You know, we're talking about drifting towards one party state. It's been in the news. Maybe it just happened officially. The senator representing Kano South, he's moved from he has moved from NNPP to APC. Is it that the Ganduje is galvanizing Kano fully for APC?
Yeah, they're trying to break Kwankwaso through, in Kano.
Yeah.
it's been a thorn in the flesh for them in Kano. That movement, for a longest time, could determine who becomes the next governor. So what do they need to do? Go into his rank, break it apart. When we say one-party system, it does not necessarily mean we have one party. Okay. Prior to last election, before Labour emerged, we had two parties in Nigeria. Visible party, but they were, on the paper, we had 19.
Yeah.
So when they say one party, it doesn't mean the other parties go into oblivion. It means that one party will become too powerful for others to attempt election with them, to go into election against them. So
the one that used to be too powerful, where is it?
No. Then we had two major parties.
Yeah, I agree with you. So, no, we didn't have two major parties. For example, there was hold on now. Let me show you. There was a time CPC sprang up. There was a time we had ACN. There was a time we had PDP. Do you understand? There was a time we had AD. Do you understand? They also won election in some states.
We had NNPP. They were the major contender to PDP.
There was 80.
No. During the time of 1999,
yes,
there was PDP principal, and there was APP and AD, who eventually joined forces and produced Olufalaye,
their flag bearer,
as the flag bearer of their presidential candidate.
And AD won the whole state in the southwest.
Then PDP was more.
Yeah, but somewhere in 2015, but you are right. But somewhere around 2014, yes, after the amalgamation of new PDP, CPC, and the ACN, they become APC versus PDP. As at that point, we had two principal parties.
Without ABGA, don't forget.
Those are one senator.
At least ABGA still.
No, those are one senator.
It doesn't matter. But ABGA still.
There are many other parties. What was it? Two principal parties.
They were dominant.
Yes.
We still had other.
Well, of course. There's never a time they were never others. They were even up to 20 something. They INEC delisted a lot. INEC delisted a lot. So I know what you're saying. Two dominant parties at 2014 to 2015 was APC and PDP.
So that's going forward. We should make sure that one party doesn't control the whole system. But other parties will be there. But do they have the finance to fight this other dominant party? So that is state we don't want to be. See,
okay, but now let me bring you to let me bring you to Kwankwaso. Yes. Now, you see, Ganduje has made it a little bit easy. Do I say easy or difficult? He had made it difficult for Kwankwaso to be attractive. If Kwankwaso has struggled to win just Kano in the last presidential election, a lot of people were saying when he was to merge with Obi, there was a kind of discussion. I think the people cited that what broke that part was Kwankwaso refused to be vice to Obi because he felt he was bigger than Obi, but that wasn't what the election eventually told us. Now, somebody that was hanging on that rank, now everybody in your party are moving to APC. There was this fracas between him and Ganduje, and Ganduje is consolidating Kano for APC, making Kwankwaso unattractive. And also there's this rumor that Kwankwaso himself wants to join APC. And they are saying, an APC chieftain, he said that we don't really need Kwankwaso, except Ganduje just said we should have him. And Ganduje himself, he said, if the pond is drying up water and the fish is running, and you are the senior brother, you can just allow him. Will Kwankwaso status diminish if he joins APC?
I heard some rumors that Kwankwaso was trying to negotiate the position of the vice president.
How do you negotiate the position of a vice president?
Yes.
You can only be voted.
It's a joint ticket.
In 2027.
In a 2027 election. That's number one. Number two, we also have, what's it called, Ganduje, that has now stood as the epitome of politics in Kano, which used to belong to Kwankwaso. Now, the other part of it that we also don't get used to talk about is the fact that Kwankwaso only has Kano, and NNPP only has Kano. So everybody feasts on what comes to Kano from NNPP. And there are rumors making the rounds that it gives Kwankwaso either 5 billion or 2 billion every month. So that one makes it difficult for them to really administer what they're supposed to administer. Then after a while, they also now get tired of this one-man show. Do you understand? As in Kano, what are we doing in opposition? We're supposed to be the bane of moving things forward and calling the shots. So the minister from Kano went and met at the party secretariat, met Ganduje and said, we don't want, in fact, according to reports, there were some loud arguments between the two of them. And Ganduje said, no, we should help a brother in need. Of course, some other derogatory statements.
Reducing Kwankwaso.
The pond is drying off.
Yeah.
It can't sustain you. Let us move you over to this place. But in all of it, it's just trying to create a soft landing for Kwankwaso to be able to come into APC. But don't also forget, Kwankwaso had opportunity recently of meeting with Mr. President. That's one. During the election, he also told them that he supports that if there was any opposition, any alliance he's going to have, he's going to be with Mr. President, because he's the information is everywhere. He's a man of vision and character.
And they said they were governors at the same time.
They were governors at the same time. The first thing, although he didn't come back for the second tenure that time. You know, so the footprint is there. It's only that what's happening now is that his people are jumping the gun before him decides to go.
Okay, Peter, do you think Kwankwaso is an attractive force in the north for anybody, even Obi at this time? You know, he was very attractive in 2023 as a vice president. You know, vice presidential candidate.
I wish you could.
It never happened.
Because Biden became a senator in 1972.
20 years or 20 something years.
1972.
Yes.
And he came to become a vice presidential candidate under Obama. And by that, he realized his vision of becoming president.
That's right. So, do you think Kwankwaso is really an attractive force in the north today to be anybody's vice president? Let me not go issue of as what you changing, you know, the current vibe, because I don't see any reason for that. But with politics, you want to win. Do you think Kwankwaso is that attractive at this time when all your followers have moved to another party?
There is a chieftain of NNPC that said the NNPP that said that these people didn't just move; they were induced to move to wither down Kwankwaso power. He gave an instance that why would they empower a senator, a member of a National Assembly, with more than 20 billion for constituency projects? Just that he will rubbish Kwankwaso's influence in there. But no matter what he said, Kwankwaso is the movement in Kano. Okay, talk about Kano politics. If Obi needs him, we should get him.
Okay, Obi doesn't know. Okay, let's look at him. At the end of it, he's going to compete with every other person. I wish we have enough time to.
If he's not nobody, why would Dangije or that be singing that he shouldn't come?
I wish you have enough time to continue. Would have, but let's see. Anybody who is vying for the position of a president and is from the south will probably consider Kwankwaso vis-a-vis other candidates. Thank you guys for your time, Peter. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for hanging on. Thank you so much. This is Matters Arising. Until next time. Thank you very much.